Somebody's in a better mood this morning.
Bro, we haven't did a pod in it feels like decades.
It's been a couple weeks, man. It's been a couple weeks because I think I was sick one weekend, and then you were traveling the next weekend, and it's just
too long, man. Too freaking long.
Too long. But it's always great catching up with you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes.
So, listeners, welcome back to another episode of the New Block Nerds podcast. I am your host, Chris, aka Prince, with the homie Darron, aka Panic Grizzly. I know it's been a couple weeks, guys. We're very sorry about that. Me and Darron have both been incredibly busy with our home lives, and schedules just sometimes do not permit. So we're terrible. We're doing the best we can, guys. We're doing the best we can. But
our followers like, yo, you guys suck.
I know.
We're going to get better.
I'm sorry, guys.
Okay,
we're going to get
grace.
better.
Give us grace.
Yeah, please. But anyways, guys, we are back at the wall with John. And this is our first introduction to Samwell Tarly, who I'm not sure if I would call him Sam a fan favorite. I feel like people like Sam. I don't know if he's a fan favorite, but
that's my guy. My guy.
I love Sam too. Don't get me wrong. I love Sam too. But this is our first introduction to Sam, and it pretty much goes similarly to how it is in the show. He kind of shows up, not looking so hot by Night's Watch standards. I think George wrote in there, by the time they got him in his black leathers, he looked like an overcooked sausage about to burst, which is,
yes.
I mean, that's ether right there. When I read it, I was like, damn, George, like, give him a break.
Well, you forget that you actually had put some food on the actual stove and go back and that joint busting through the seam. And all I could think of is this is the smile I had. I think about the show when first of all, he's massive, but he's the only one that's not really a fighter. We have always been introduced to people, bloodline, gotta fight. That's what they are. Or they're being strategic and trying to be crafty like Littlefinger. He's not trying to be any of that. He's just like, I'm just a guy. I don't care.
I'm just here. I'm just here.
He's so genuine. It's just devastating to be like, yo, you're that size, but you don't want to hurt a feather. You're just like, I'm just here, guys. And so you see him out there.
And it's actually hilarious because in this world too, I mean, we have our own issues in our world with toxic masculinity and people wanting to be super macho and super tough and everything like that. But in this world where if you're a guy, you're a fighter.
Yes.
And for Sam, it took all of them aback so much when he first walks into the courtyard, because they're all like, what the fuck are we looking at, guys? What is this? This can't be a man. This can't be. This can't. And then Sir Alistair right off a jump, he's already given him nicknames. Bro. He's big on the insulting nicknames. So he calls him Sir Piggy and my Lord of Ham and all this shit. Is just when they say Sir Alistair's not there to make anyone better.
When they say slice of bacon off, I'm like, yo, bro, y'all tripping. Y'all going too far. But I can picture it in my head. I can picture it. It's so bad. So we also see how John is also becoming in prior chapters. He is the voice. He's the leader, and everyone tries to get in line. But there's also some people who try it and they want to do their own thing and their own toxic ways of doing stuff. So when they see Sam and they go at Sam, they probably try to go at him a little too rough, and it was like an easy target type thing. All I can think about is the show when after an incident with Ghost and they see everybody just tap him on the leg and just tap him. They don't want to have any issues.
Yeah. And so to your point too, John has become a bit of a player coach, so to speak, right? At the Night's Watch with some of the young recruits, right? So Halder is beating on Sam because Sir Alistair is kind of making him. And John's like, all right, dude, come on, no one's getting better here. Look at him. This is we're all wasting our time. And I think part of it was John just being John and sticking up for someone who needed to be stood up for.
Okay.
But also where's the utility in this? And I know Sir Alice is always reminding John, I'm the master at arms here, but like before I started showing Darron and Pip and Gren all these different fighting techniques, they're fucking cannon fodder. They're
Absolutely.
cannon fodder. Like you're not helping us get better. And this is the constant dynamic between John and Sir Alistair that like, yeah, you're the master at arms, Sir Alistair. You're like one of like the very few actual knights on the wall, but doesn't really mean anything if you're not teaching people to actually survive in a sword
Nothing,
fight.
bro. He's literally like just the school. Like you see the bully, and he's like the teacher letting it go. He's like, yeah, and don't worry about it. He was
Yeah,
adding more insults, like more salt to the wound. And then after that, and you find out how like even the brother really didn't want to sit with them about food and everything else. Like when they did the whole like separation after the fighting stance, and you learn more about Sam's story and why Sam's there. Sam really didn't commit a crime. He really didn't do anything that the others. Well, John didn't either. John just wanted to try a new pathway. He thought the black was something, but it's not. But everyone
right.
else is like did something that was exile worthy, that they can't be around their family. He just simply wasn't a aggressive guy. He just was a nice guy. He's a
He wasn't
scholar,
the heir that his father was willing to,
and that's
allow him to
crazy.
inherit. And it's crazy. And like when you really read the passage of now, I always go back again, because of the show, I always go back to like visualizing Lord Randall Tarley, Sam's dad, as the
Yeah.
actor who played him. And
Yes.
they picked like the perfect guy for him because he has like that like resting bitch face.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to have a discussion one of these days about shittiest dad in Westeros. But Randall Tarley's up there.
Yeah, he's top three. He's top three easily.
Randall Tarley's up there. He's up there with Tywin.
Is Tywin really
Who
that
else is up there?
bad?
Tywin's. Do I? You know what?
I
I
like
can't believe
Tywin.
you're asking me that. I
Like
honestly can't.
Tywin.
He's like the poster child for bad dads in Westeros. Look at how he talks to Tyrion. I'm gonna send you a couple of YouTube links just from the show of him just berating Tyrion.
But he protects the other two. Sam's dad don't protect anybody.
Does he?
He's cutting the arms.
You know what? This isn't. We're not gonna get into this. We're not gonna get into this. The moral of the story is, there is a shittiest dads competition going on in Westeros right now, and based on this chapter alone, Lord Randall is ahead by a decent margin.
Absolutely, bro. Like the way they did my man Sam, dropped him off, to go on there, forced his man to go to the black, and everyone like looking sort of like, wait, you did nothing to be here. You actually were in line to be next, only because you like reading books and you were a scholar, and us George planting seeds for the future and knowing that his character really is. I was like, all right, so explains why John went some more defense with him. But yo, the scene in the book when he asks everybody to stop hitting Sam, we're not gonna go hard on Sam, right? Did you flash back to the story of the actual like television show, and then seeing when Ghost? That's my vision. I was like, that's a badass scene, yo. That was incredible.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, and again, that just goes to show, like you said about like John becoming kind of like the leader of the young recruits, which I mean starts his career arc and trajectory to becoming Lord Commander eventually, right? Spoiler alert, guys, if you guys haven't watched the show or read the books yet. But because John just has this natural kind of gravitas to him that like people want to be around John, and like they look to him for guidance all the time, right? Even with like when he stopped Halder from hitting Sam in the courtyard, all he said was Halder enough, and Halder kind of like hesitated and like looked at Sir Alistair for kind of like confirmation. Like, I know Sir Alistair's in charge, but what do I do here? Let's kind of like, I have like conflicting authorities here, right? And I think that's why Sir Alistair kind of hates John, and that's why he has that ironic, insulting nickname of Lord Snow, because he's like, oh, you think because you're whatever. And it's just like, no, I don't. I mean, and John doesn't. I shouldn't say he doesn't, because early on he does think that he's better than everyone.
Oh, he absolutely did when he first, but he got humbled quickly when he had to talk with the old man. He had like realized his position, that he was becoming just like the person he despises.
Right.
So, Ghost, bro. Every time Ghost is in a scene, bro, He takes over the scene, and he doesn't like exactly. He's a dire wolf, but just the imagery of someone being so intimidating is like Undertaker in the background behind you, like you're like or Jason, like you know what? Let me think twice before I make another move.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Whatever I was getting ready to do, I'm done. I'm done thinking about that now.
You win, bro. What you want me to do?
Yeah,
You said tap him on the ankle. I got you. I'm
yeah,
not doing
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. We're good. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. And it's there's part of me that like towards the end of this chapter, I totally understand. I'm not gonna say totally understand, but I could see where a master of arms at the wall like Sir Alistair is upset by how they chose to go about this.
Yeah,
Because the winters in this world are very harsh. People will die.
yeah,
There will be battles, and people will need to fight. There isn't a you don't. I'm sorry, you don't have the luxury in Westeros of being like, well, I'm a pacifist. Well, then I guess you're food.
pretty
That's
much.
that's just how it goes, right? And that I feel like
Yeah,
that's what Sir Alistair was trying to. I'm not even gonna say he was trying to teach them anything. I think he does a lot more telling and demanding than actually coaching anything.
facts.
So his message gets lost, right? And I think, but one thing that he did say that I thought resonated, at least with me, and I'm sure some of the characters in the book was like, and this goes back to the show as well too. Basically, kind of lecturing them like, look, y'all want to protect this guy, but when winter comes and enemies are at the gates, who you want standing next to you? You want a man at the Night's Watch, or you want a bitch?
And you know what's
And
crazy about that
in that
is
when you frame it that way, I'm like, I
he's
mean,
right. He is so right when you think like that. And that's the curveball of this whole story. That we've always thought it was a brutal force,
mm-hmm,
defend, attack. We never thought about the strategy part when it comes to positive strategy. We've seen the
mm-hmm,
negative strategy about being who's a king to tell the person who's attacking, who's defending. But having a person on the sideline, and like, okay, what's the backstory? What's going on? I read books. I can tell you more. The library I
right,
have back home. When you're early in the game in this chapter, you don't think that's important because all we hear about is the actual man being strong and the winter is coming. So it's a different aspect in the future. And I'm so impressed with Sam being at it at this point in time in the story. And
yeah,
because we actually watched we watched Game of Thrones. That's my guy. I'm cheering for him.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like Sam. I like Sam, and I think that that's something that like I think goes really. I don't want to say unnoticed, but for lack of a better term, unnoticed with John's character as he starts climbing up the ladder in the Night's Watch is him realizing that like, hey, we need people with all different kinds of skills. Like, there's a
Yeah.
reason why the Night's Watch they have orders of rangers, builders, and stewards. Everyone
Yes.
can't be Benjamin Stark. Everyone can't be a ranger. Like, we need people. We need more people like Maester Aemon, and we need it quickly because Maester Aemon is like 1,000 years old. Like,
Plus.
you know what I mean? Like, I think them recognizing that, like, and even Sam tells him, he's like, look, tomorrow they're gonna make you fight again, and you'll do better. And Sam's like, no, I won't. Like, some of us just ain't built for this guy. Some of us are just not built like that, which sucks, right? But I think John recognizing that and pushing Sam to into the things that he is good at,
Yeah.
and you'll see later on in the story, it really helps Sam a bunch as far as like his own self confidence and like how he portrays himself
Yeah.
because because John doesn't just look down on him for not being a warrior. Everyone can't be a warrior, you know.
So
Which
everybody, buckle up, man. Buckle up
yeah,
because we're putting characters that are dropping knowledge. We got strength, integrity's gonna start playing a factor in the future decisions. And we have the wall right now. Next chapter, where we at? We
we're
back with
back
Ed,
with
aren't we?
yeah, and King's Landing. Yeah, so more fuckery, just more fuckery back in King's Landing. Yeah, it's getting really good in King's Landing. Like the last couple Ned chapters have
Bro.
been like him and Littlefinger going back and forth, and Littlefinger just basically telegraphing everything. Like, hey, I hope you know I'm gonna fuck you over. You know that, right? You know that, right? Okay, just so you know.
I think we're like on chapter like 30, bro. I'm not sure. We gotta count the chapters up. So please like, subscribe, like go back to the previous New Block page and just see this journey with us. Like watch the videos, tell us your thoughts, because it's about to like get real.
Yeah, we're about to
Like
get into the nitty gritty of stuff real soon. Yeah, yeah,
dirty business is what the phrase they use. It's the
yeah,
definition
yeah,
of that.
yeah, yeah. But before we get out of here, I do want to go back to Randall Tarley really quick, um,
The best
because
dad ever.
because what he says to Sam is almost identical to what he says in the show. Basically, you know, Sam was the firstborn son, so he would inherit everything. His younger brother is more of the traditional heir to a great house that you would want.
Yeah.
And Sam's dad basically tells him, I will not allow you to inherit after I die. That's not going to happen. So you have two real choices here. You can go to the wall and relinquish all of your rights to inheriting anything, or we will go for a hunt, and somewhere along the way, you will fall off your horse. Or that's what I'll tell your mother.
That
Nothing would please me more. And I was like, damn.
and you think someone's worse than him?
I mean, need I remind you Tywin's speech to Tyrion in the show? It starts with something like, you are an ill-made, spiteful little creature, full of envy, lust, and low cunning.
We haven't got to that chapter. We haven't got to that chapter yet. So right now, currently, who the person who has the pole position is not a Lannister.
No, you're right. No, Randall Tarley's the worst right now. Yeah, Tywin, you're safe for a day, maybe. But anyways, guys, we've been here too long. We will see you guys next week in King's Landing with Ned Stark. Darron, it's been a pleasure as always. Guys, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, go back and be on this journey with us. We're gonna do this every week and get through the whole book. So you know, it's a fun ride. It's good going back and breaking these things down in detail, and I'm looking forward to keeping it going.
Team Sam. That's how I am.
All right, we'll catch you guys later.
Peace and love, bro.